It's estimated more than 70,000 Canadians nowadays are living with HIV or AIDS, and up to a quarter of them do not even know they're infected. As yet, of course, still no cure, no vaccine to prevent new infections, although there's a lot of hard work, of course, underway to do just that. This weekend, people will be taking to the streets right across Canada for the AIDS Walk for Life campaign. Muluba Habanyama is my guest here in studio. She is the honorary chair of the AIDS Walk for Life for Ontario's Peel region. She was born with HIV. Tell us a little bit about your situation, Muluba.
Hi, thank you for having me. My situation is my parents were both infected with HIV, but my mom didn't know. My dad contracted it unfaithfully in his marriage. And when I was 2 years old and me and my sister and my mom came to Canada, that's when it was discovered that me and my mom were both positive. So living in Canada, living here, growing up young with HIV was very confusing and isolating and really put me through a lot, and unfortunately right now both of my parents did pass away, so thankfully for my sister, but now it's been a tough journey to live 22 years with HIV, definitely.
This is all you've ever really known.
It's all I've ever known.
And at 22 years old, you have gone through years of the stigma, particularly growing up as a teenager in school and from friends as they found out. What was that like?
Absolutely. You know what? I actually kept it as a secret for pretty much all of my life until I was 21. It was something that the stigma was too much to handle. You start to self-stigmatize. It was a very scary feeling, and it is still a scary feeling sometimes revealing it, but now I'm comfortable with myself. But it was a rough childhood, and it doesn't make it easier that I was born with it versus got it last year, but it's a very scary disease to have because it has all this stigma attached to it.
It absolutely does.
Yes.
This walk that's going on across Canada this weekend, how important is that for you personally and bigger picture for people who are going through what you're going through?
It's important to me personally because I know that there's other people out there like me, and it still is affecting. HIV is not something of the past. It's not something that doesn't exist anymore, and it's not something that doesn't need attention anymore. It is something that's wide and far. Like you said, 71,000 people in Canada, and within the Peel region, Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon, it's very, very sparse that you hear about it or talk about it, but we know from public health records it still exists. For me, it's a huge thing because, especially for my generation, we can actually prevent it. This new generation of babies, that could be something that it never exists, and it's very important because the funds from this walk, not only does it give awareness, but the funds go to program and services for people infected and affected by HIV, which is me included.
Just before we go, I want to ask you, is it a bit scary to sort of be so front and center in this and sort of being the chair of this particular walk for you?
You know what? Now I really feel no shame. I feel completely comfortable to share. I'll talk to anybody that'll listen about it and ask questions. I want people to talk to me. I love having that conversation. It's not awkward for me anymore. But sometimes there can be that little jump at any moment that's kind of a little bit pattering. But I think it's good nerves. It's nerves that show I care about the cause. But it took a while for me to get here, and it takes a while for a lot of people, and we need that support to show people that they can come out and be comfortable. And if we all support and work together, HIV-positive people, HIV-negative people, we really can end this disease. I truly believe that.
It's been wonderful having you here in studio. I salute your courage.
Thank you so much for having me.
And a reminder, of course, that walk is going on right across this country here in Canada. Lots of people going to be taking part.